Boom. Corey, thank you very much for retweeting that. Just seeing you retweet it on Twitter. Thank you. So, yeah, it's Bank Holiday Monday. It's just gone 9 o'clock for those listening on the Acts on This TV audio experience. Shout out to you. Thank you for listening. Thank you to anyone watching on YouTube, watching the replay. And big welcome everyone who's joining us here, live tonight. Got a few things to talk about tonight. Lucy's just jumped over on Twitter from Facebook. All right, Luce. And it all stems around change, right? I've mentioned this a couple of times. I've got a list of notes here, things I want to cover with you guys tonight, because this should be a Q&A. So if you've got, this is like the monthly Q&A. Technically, it's September's Q&A, and it's not quite September yet. So I might end up with another Q&A later on in the month. If you've got any questions about anything tonight that I'm talking about, or your acting career, voiceover, web development, because I'm going to show you a lot of web development tonight, online business, etc., then shout out with your questions, and we'll try and answer those as well. But yeah, change, right? Oh, it's like I spoke about this before. I don't know what you guys feel like. August for me, and I spoke to quite a lot of people. There's been big changes in a lot of people's lives in August. I think coming to the end of the summer and then beginning like a new season, it's almost that back to school feeling, isn't it? That feeling as kids we used to hate, but now as adults I quite like, because it means all the kids go back to school, life becomes a lot quieter. I haven't got kids, so just mean in general when I'm out about in public, but if you're a parent, I'm sure you enjoy it as well. But yeah, it feels like, kind of like a new start almost. And all year and a bit of last year, I've been thinking of redesigning. All right, Ine, all right, Gary, I've been thinking of redesigning actsonthis.tv, the main website that I run for all you guys, because I've been running it for 8 years. It's had about 3 different looks to it over the time. It's been rebuilt about 3 times, but it's been rebuilt 3 times on the same software. And the software has been developed over the years, without a doubt. This is 47 pieces of software I built Acts on This on. 47 pieces of software that every week would need maintenance, would need updates. If one piece in that chain broke, then it meant all the others broke as well. Like, I can't tell you how complicated, like, over the 8 years it's been to run the site on that software. I've been putting in maybe 16 hours a week, some weeks maintenance, and you guys won't see any benefit from that. Effectively, you'll go to the site and it will look exactly the same as it did the day before. The fact is that I put all that work into it just to make it work like it did the day before. So I've been thinking for a while, as the site's grown, as more users have come at the table, as there's been more and more like content I've put on there. I've racked up nearly 400 hours worth of content over the last 8 years on there. Interviews with casting directors, agents, actors, writers, producers, live broadcasts with all those guys. In-depth, like multi-camera video interviews you guys might have seen or might not have seen, because the thing is, as I was putting all this content on there, I was realizing that more and more of it was just getting hidden, because the new content comes in, the old content that's just as relevant, because it's like evergreen content, it doesn't really go out of date, was just being missed by a lot of people. So for a while I've fought with this change, going, I've got to rebuild this site, I've got to change it up, but it was so massively overwhelming, so daunting, 5,000 pages on that website, that not all of those had to be rebuilt, by the way. It just meant letting go of a lot of that stuff, allowing it to be deleted and just disappear. The thought of having 5,000 page links out on the internet that would then lead to broken pages, there's 404 errors you get when you go to a web page that doesn't exist anymore. All these things that were just massively overwhelming, until a couple of months ago, I'll give you a bit of inside scoop, I didn't really have much option but to rebuild actsonthis.tv, because one of those 47 pieces of software, basically over the last year, has been kind of abandoned by the developers of that software. So it still works absolutely fine. It still works right now because the site is still live. But eventually, in a couple of months, it would no longer kind of work in the stack of software that I have on there. So I was like, you know what? I could replace that with something else. But whilst I'm replacing that, why don't I just replace the whole thing? And I can't believe, can't tell you how good it feels to have committed to that change. So the first thing to talk about a little bit tonight before I show you the site. I showed a lot of you guys the site, the brand new site, on the last broadcast that we did. I'm just going to go over a couple of little things tonight that are on there now, just to point out to people that I didn't go over last time. And a lot of people watching have even signed up for a new account on there. Jenna, she just joined us, and Jenna's got a new account on there as well. So I'm going to talk about getting a new account on the new site, how you do that, where you can go to do that tonight, and what you do if you've already got an account on the old site, to walk you through that so that there's no confusion. But yeah, point number 1 on this Q&A, there might be something in your life right now that you've been thinking about changing for such a long time. In your acting career, it could be an agent, it could be your headshots, it could be your show reel. In your life, it could be your physicality and going to the gym. In your relationship, it could be your relationship. It could be an element of your relationship. I'm not saying to change the entire relationship. But you might have been thinking about it. Has there been anything in people's lives? Here, let me know if you're prepared to talk about it. That you've been thinking of changing for a while, and then you've just been so overwhelmed by the prospects of it that you haven't done it. Because that was me for like 18 months, and I can't tell you, like I say, how good it feels to be on the verge, well, to have been through a lot of that change, but be on the verge of kind of like getting to the end of it and starting a new chapter in what is That's on This TV's future, because I'm super excited about it. It's going to free me up, guys. Those 16 hours I was putting in a week to just do maintenance on the other side that you were getting no benefit from whatsoever, I can probably go out and I can easily record another 2 features in that time, another 2 podcasts with casting directors or actors or agents or whatever, maybe do a live broadcast, etc. So much more time to create more content rather than just maintaining the site. I can actually give value. So what's going on in your lives that you're like, I'm afraid of changing because it's going to be too hard? Because there's 3 fears that you're going to be coming up against right now. And the first one is that fear of change. Okay, now fear of change is very simple. It is that, I am afraid to change my situation because something bad might happen. Tony says, definitely relate to this with changes needed in my personal life. There you go, Tony. The next thing you have when you have a fear of change is you have a fear of process. And what you do, so first of all, right, you have the idea you want to change something. You get fear of change. Okay, if I change, then what if something bad happens to me, or what if I lose, you have like a fear of like losing something during that change. If you can get through that, you're going to be hit with something called fear of process, which I was hit with time and time again. I almost rebuilt Acts on This once before in this 18-month period, and I quit it after about a week because I went, no, the process is too much. It's going to be too hard. And for you, that might be, you might choose to start working out, and you get through the fear of change, but then you're hit by fear of process. Oh, shit, well, actually, it does mean going and buying gym gear. It means going and getting a gym membership. It means going and having an induction at the gym. It then means going to the gym. That means buying recovery protein shakes or something like that. Blah, 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 blah. All of this fear of process hits you. Then if you can get through that, another fear will hit you called fear of outcome. And that is, what if I get through fear of change, I go through the entire process, and still, if it was physicality, still I don't lose weight, still I don't look better, etc. So there's those 3 fears that I've been facing during this. One was fear of change. Oh my God, are people going to enjoy the change if I change the website up? 1 was that. 2, fear of process. This is going to be massive. And then 3, what if I do all this and no one likes it? Luckily, that hasn't happened. So that's a bonus. That was just the first thing I wanted to talk about tonight, fear of, change ultimately. And just to kind of give you a kick up the arse to say, if you are stalling on changing something in your life, chances are you should just do it. And I think now at this time of year is a great time of year to do it, because it does feel like that back to school, September's coming kind of vibe. Where I think we feel recharged after summer. We've had a bloody good summer here in the UK as well. I don't know what yours has been like in Chicago, Tony, but ours has been great here. Started raining a little bit this weekend because it's a bank holiday weekend. And that's generally what happens in the UK. But summer's been good. Hopefully people are rested and they're ready to attack Q4 of the year with a vengeance. So with that, I'm going to show you the new site again. It's not changed much since the last time I showed you it on the last broadcast, but I know there'll be people here tonight who weren't on that last broadcast. So let's bring the new site up, which is this one. I'm going to tell you where it actually resides at tonight as well, because I didn't do that last time. But like I said, there have been people. I know Gary's on here. He's got his membership. Steve has. Jenna has. Ine has. Lee, I don't know if you have yet. I don't think I've seen anything come through. Lucy has. I think, Lucy, I've transferred you over. But yeah, most people, won't have actually signed up to the new site yet. It's not really been available outside of people who already had a membership. And so this is the homepage. This is what it now looks like. It looks much cleaner than the previous homepage. We've got away, with all of the fluff, got rid of all of that. Ultimately, it says what it is. And I do believe that the community we have here is the number one acting community on the planet. Just do. Dawn says, I love the new site. Thank you, Dawn. And you scroll down a bit, it tells you a little bit about what it is. You can have a look at 6 of these features. Apologies for those in the audio experience. You're not seeing any of this, but I'm basically going through the homepage, and there's 6 of the latest features on there. We've got live Q&A with Humans Castanets, so Victor Jenkins. He does all sorts of stuff like Unforgotten, Broadchurch, massive stuff. Rachel Shenton's on there. She won an Oscar for a short film, Silent Child. She's got a podcast with us there. Downton Abbey's Rob James Collier, who's just filming the brand new Downton Abbey film. Got a high-quality video interview with him, a multi-camera video interview with him, and various others as well. There's loads on there. Shows you what else you get on the website. Looks great at first glance, says Lucy. Podcasts, live video broadcasts, HD interviews, Facebook community, weekly online coaching, which we're doing kind of right now, in-person meetups as well. I want to get these bigger and bigger. We do in-person meetups once a month, one in London, one in Manchester on the first Saturday of each month. Tony, I want you to set up the Chicago contingent of Acts on This. And then there's just more and more kind of information on what you can get on the site, basically. So there's no real kind of confusion. I think when you went to the old site, there's a bit of confusion about what is this. There's loads of news on there. There's, banners here and there for all these different things. I don't really know what it is. Can I join it? Do I have to join it? Etc., etc. Now, it's very, very obvious. At the bottom of the page are the options for membership, and you'll notice that there is no free membership anymore. And that doesn't mean they've been horrible and gone, I want everybody to pay for this. It means you don't need a free membership to access the previews that are on the site. You used to have a free membership to access the previews. Now you don't. I just thought it's pointless. You don't need to. However, you're going to want to get a premium membership to access the full features on this site because they're freaking cheap. It's £10 a month. Or it's £90 for the year, which works out at £7.50 a month. When you break it down into a week, it's less than £2 a week. Okay, so my latte at Costa Coffee is £3.55 for a coconut latte with sugar-free syrup, vanilla syrup or caramel syrup, depending on how I'm feeling. So if you're like, I don't have, £2.50 a week or less than a latte to invest into my acting career, you probably want to have a little word with yourself and sort that out. Don't buy your coffee. Get a membership and benefit from the hundreds of hours worth of information ultimately that's on this site. So you'll notice there's a blue bar at the top of this, okay, guys? And this is some information for people who have had a previous premium membership at Acts on This, okay? We'll click on it and just show you a little bit about it. There's 3 scenarios basically you might be in right now if you had a free any kind of membership on Acts on This. You might have had a free membership, in which case, like I say, you no longer need that. You won't be able to log in with your old details. It doesn't exist anymore, but you don't need that to actually have a look at the previews on the site. Second scenario is that you had a yearly premium membership. Now, if you had a yearly premium membership, i.e. you paid once a year for your Acts on This membership, just once a year, you might have paid that £90 for it. That's the price of it, as it stands right now. Then what will have happened is I've actually already migrated your account over to this new site. I used your original email address from the old site, and I've issued you with a new password. If you check your email inbox, it will be the email that you registered initially. So if it was many years ago and you've changed your email address, reach out to me and I'll change that up for you. But it was the one that was registered to actsonthis.tv, the original site right now. If that's the case, check your inbox and you'll have a password and a link to this site so that you can actually get access to it right now before it officially takes over from the actsonthis.tv site that's there right now. Now, the other scenario is you paid for your premium membership. Hello, Ellen. How are you doing? You paid for your premium membership on a monthly basis. So you might have paid £10 a month for your premium membership. Now, if that's the case, you've got to re-register on this site. If you're a premium monthly member, re-register on this site. So you'll sign up. And again, I've sent you an email. Okay, I've sent you an email where you get a 14-day trial because you might have only just paid your membership. And I'm like, well, you don't want to pay twice in a month. Most people haven't. You will be partway through the month. So I've given you a link in your email to a 14-day trial of the site. You then sign up. You don't pay anything for 14 days on the monthly membership. And in that time, I will cancel your old payments. So you will only end up paying once, obviously, for the month. So you need to register like a brand new customer, basically. Your old login won't work. You have to register. When I see that come through, I will take care of all of the other stuff with your old payments. But like I say, check your inbox because I will have sent you a sign up link with a 14-day trial on there as well. And then there's a section here that talks about this on the last broadcast about the new pricing. Effectively, over the 8 years, I'd offered Act on This premium membership at many different price points. When I first started the site, I actually it was basically a couple of recorded phone calls and about 3 articles. And back then, membership to the site, I think, was about £5 a month or something like that. In the 8 years, it's still only risen to £10 a month. So it's hardly gone through the roof. But I ended up with about 24 different price points. And 24 different price points is absolutely impossible to actually transfer over to a new site. It's just the admin to that would be absolutely insane. So I had a word with you guys on the last broadcast, and we all agreed that actually, you know what, £10 a month or £7.50 a month if you pay in a year in advance, is a freaking bargain, considering most people these days are paying £60, £65 for 1 2-hour workshop with a casting director that won't really offer you anything special. At least on here, you're getting information that genuinely can change your career, because we talk so openly and honestly in these interviews that I do. You genuinely get game-changing info for just £10 a month. So the new pricing structure is that. It's £10 a month, £90 a year. What will happen is you'll have to sign up at that new price. Apologies if you were on an old deal where you might have got it for £5 a month. You've had it for on that deal for years. If that was the case, that offer hasn't been available for years. I hope the value I've given you has been enough for you to support me at this new price point, but it just means that it's so simple, it's fair, everybody pays the same, there'll be no price hikes anytime soon, and it just means that we can get on with actually creating features rather than, again, getting lost in admin. So you will find all of that explained on this page, and to get to that, you just click on the blue bar at the top of the homepage. And I've not given you the web address, have I? There's the blue bar at the top of the homepage there. To get access to this site right now, because it's not at actonthis.tv yet, it will be next week. To get access to this site, what you've got to do is go here. And it's a weird address, I get it, because the software I use is something called Kajabi. And the web address, therefore, is actonthis.mykajabi. For those on the audio experience, it's spelled Kajabi. So actonthis.mykajabi.com. Now, next week, this site will live at actonthis.tv. But until then, you've got to go to actonthis.mykajabi.com. After next week, you'll be able to access it via either address. It doesn't matter, but obviously I want people to know it's actonthis.tv. It's not this crazy address here. But this is for you guys as a little reward, because you come and spend this time with me, and you're in the Facebook group, I'm guessing, or you like the Facebook page, or you follow me on Twitter, etc. Get yourself over there right now, check it out, and you can grab your membership. Like I say, if you've got an existing premium membership, just go sign up for a new one. I'll cancel your old one, within 24 hours of you signing up for the new one. So that's a bit of admin to begin with. Do we all follow? And I'll take you behind the scenes of the site. There's already about 112, 115 people who are actually on this new site as well, which is pretty cool. People have taken it up quite quickly. Lee says, just signed up now. It's been a hectic few days. Nice one, Lee. Let me just check everything's come through on that. And if you need any help, you should have all of your details sent through, mate. Everything should be good on that. You should have login details that'll be sent to your email, and yeah, you should get literally instant access. I'll just double check everything is good on that score. Let me have a look in here. It's great, this, because I can just so easily manage everybody and everything that's going on. Lee, you are there, mate, 100%. He's in the system. You'll get a welcome email as well in about an hour. But there you go, and you're in there with your 14-day trial. So what I'll do, mate, is I will cancel your old payments after this broadcast. You'll get a notification saying your payments have been cancelled. Many people actually on the yearly membership, you might have got a PayPal cancellation over the weekend. Don't panic. That's just me cancelling the old membership so that you can get on the new site and create a new one. And those who've had their accounts migrated, if you're on a yearly membership, the system knows now when your membership ends. You'll receive an email going, hey, your membership has ended. Here's a link to renew. Then when you've renewed, you're on the new system then for life. You're not on the old system, so that's great. So that's good. What's Tony saying here? I'm the proud president of Acts on This Chicago chapter. You You definitely are, Tony, and I am proud that Act on This is repped in Chicago. So tell all your friends, and we'll definitely have a meetup in Chicago at some point, without a doubt. Anae says, "Bravo, Tony. It's the modest start of global domination." Anae, I love it. Yeah, it is. We've got Rich Haler. He's the Miami/Florida contingent. We've got you in Chicago. We've got people in all areas of the UK. We're definitely going global. And Lee says, just got an email confirmation, so I'm in. Nice one, Lee. Appreciate you. And I just appreciate everybody, you know what, for like re-signing up and stuff, and like investing in, ultimately, you know what, investing in yourself. Yes, you're investing in the community, investing in me, and I appreciate that so much, but it gives me way more pleasure when I get emails from people, and I get them. I'm so grateful. I'm not being all like, oh, look at me, but I do get them quite regular. I'm like, Ross, I saw this on the site. I took action on this thing you and this casting director were talking about, and now I have a job. And I'm like, I'm not taking credit for that job. Of course I'm not. They had to take the action. That's why it's called Act on This. We give you information. You go out there and freaking act on it. But that's fantastic, because it is like, you are investing in yourself. Listen to this stuff. It's easier than ever to navigate this site now, and I'll show you how that works for those who are brand new to it. It is way easier to actually get access. So when you come to the site initially and you've logged into the site, you'll see these options at the top, and it'll say one is What's New. You can look at this actually without logging in the What's New page. And the What's New page is basically a blog where you will go to and just check this out every time you come to the website. Okay, so have a look on the blog and you will see previews of all the features that I've done. You will see site announcements as well. You won't see stuff like the commission news that I do on the Act on This site as it stands at the moment. What I'm going to do, I'm going to post that directly into the Facebook group. I'm not going to bother putting it on the website. I'm just going to put that. I'm not going to clutter this version of the website up with stuff that can date, you see. I'll put that straight into the Act on This Facebook group. If you're not part of that, facebook.com/groups/Act on This TV. So what you can do here is, literally, as you're going through, you can just click on this Hollyoaks video here. This is me and Peter Hunt, the head of casting at Hollyoaks, chatting about casting Hollyoaks, ultimately, how he goes about his job, etc. You just literally click on a feature here, and you'll watch like a 10 or 15 minute preview of it. Let's skip on a bit. There's Peter at home talking us through his process. The feature's about an hour long, but yeah, you get about a 15-minute preview in this What's New section. And then if you find something that you're like, oh, I really want to listen to the whole thing of that or watch the whole thing of that, you're going to need a membership. So you go into Members at the top here, and in Members, you've got the Members area, boom, and you'll see your membership. If you ever log in here and this is empty, it means your membership has expired, and you'll have to then go and sign up to get your membership again. You can buy a membership as many times as you want. It can expire as many times as you want. If your credit card expires, for example, and it cancels the membership, you just have to buy it again. Your account will stay active on the site, but you just have to come in here and get it again. So it's here. I've got a membership. I click on Access Membership, and then I've just got all these sections here that will expand over time as well, because you'll probably end up with more sections here as well. I'm going to put some live events and stuff in here as well, some in-person events I'm going to start doing later this year. They'll appear in here, but we've got different sections. We've got podcast section, we've got a live broadcast replay section, video interview section, upcoming live broadcasts, like a live broadcast portal. I'll just click into that and show you. So when I do a live Q&A with a casting director, and I try and do one of these a month, you will log into your membership, and to get access to it, just keep clicking through, and you'll see there this click here to visit the live broadcast portal now. Click on that, and boom, this is where the live broadcasts were going to take place. It's a private page on the site for members only, and it just means that we've got a place where we can all have a good chat, basically, have a natter about whatever the guest wants to have a natter about. But it's generally a casting director or a very well-known actor. I will be bringing more agents on as well, and you'll see a chat box under here where you can type your questions in, and this is how we communicate on the night. You'll see a video of me and the guest, and then you can ask your questions underneath in that chat box there. So you'll see in the, let's click back through to the members section again. You'll see in each section, we've got lots of other, like features that you can click on. So we're going into the video interviews section, and you'll see here a list of all the video interviews that I've done. We've got Rob James Collier at the top. He's the one I showed you on the homepage before. Jordan Hogg, Casualty Director, Emmerdale Director, Coronation Street Director, Hollyoaks Director, He did Disney's Evermore as well. BAFTA-winning director, Jordan Hogg there. George Bakari, we've got a top producer, Tom Sherry, he's the head of BBC Drama in the North. Michael Jackson from Beverly Keogh Casting. BAFTA-nominated Ruth Madeley, talking about her journey. You might have seen a documentary she did recently for BBC Horizon on spina bifida, the condition that she lives with. And then we've got an interview I did with Chris Stone. If you want to look at show reels or get into short film, he's your man. Once listened to the Poldark podcast, says Gary. Well, show you where that is, Gary. It's a bloody good podcast. That's with the writer of Poldark, Debbie Horsfield. But all you would do, if you want to listen or watch one of these, let's click into Rob's ear, and you'll see, it's kind of a little bit like Netflix, this. You'll see the video here, and click play on that, and it's just going to play. This is the whole feature, because obviously you're in the premium memberships, you get access to it all. There's me and Rob having a chat about Downton Abbey and his career. An untrained actor, didn't go to drama school, who went on to earn literally millions of pounds. No joke. Not going to talk about his personal finances, but I know he earned millions of pounds. Over 6 seasons of Downton Abbey. And he's just doing the film now as well for Downton Abbey. So, an untrained actor from Manchester. It's a really interesting story. We have about an hour and 15-minute chat all about that. It's just stuff that you can glean so much gold from. If you want to emulate, this kind of success. And then you just see a playlist, basically, of all the other ones that are there. You'll see some blurb on what we talk about in there. And then what you can do, so you can keep track of everything that you've seen or heard on the site, is a little button at the bottom here. I can click Mark as seen and heard. It'll show me what the next feature is. But this means when I go out to the main category again, see the blue tick that's there now? Just means you can keep an eye on exactly what you have... exactly what you've seen, what you've heard, what you listened to, and as more content goes on the site every month, it just means you don't, end up kind of getting lost or, confused. Ellen says, I'm so excited to get stuck in. Joined for the very first time last night. So much to learn. Ellen, welcome to the community. Honestly, you're going to love it. And I swear, if you do just listen and watch all of this stuff, and like I say, the key to this, that's why it's called Act on This, is actually acting on the information that you're given. Your life will change, like your career will change if you take action. It's no bullshit. It's not like click this button and your life's going to change thing. You've got to take action on it. But it really will. Like, honestly, you will just learn so much about the industry. If I had this when I was at drama school, I'd have been so better prepared when I came out of drama school. I was well trained at drama school in terms of how to act, but they taught us nothing about the business. One of the best drama schools in the country, one of only 5 accredited drama schools at the time when I went, graduated in 2005, prepared us, to be brutal, just didn't prepare us actually for getting work. Taught us how to act, nothing else though. This is the business of the business, ultimately, that I've created on this, and it, game changer for you. And Gary's saying, so you're saying there is money in this acting lot. Gary's a lot of money in this acting lot, to be honest, mate. Again, if you take action on, going out there and getting it, pal, definitely. So I'll show you the podcast. Gary, you said you wanted to listen to the Poldark podcast with Debbie Horsfield. Debbie Horsfield, I met her at a read-through for a drama called Age Before Beauty that I was just in recently. It was just on TV a couple of weeks ago. Still showing. In fact, Age Before Beauty, there's a double bill this week, isn't it? Isn't it tomorrow and Wednesday? I think it's a double bill. This week, anyway. Of episode 5 and 6. But yeah, I got chatting to her at the read-through. Fascinating woman, so talented, yet said something to me really, really interesting. She said, Ross, I can come and talk to you now. We'd read the first episode, and she said, I always get so nervous before the first episode is read at a read-through when she's written something, because she feels that that's going to be the one that no one likes, and they'll realise that her whole career has been a fraud and she can't write or anything like that. I've seen a lot of talented people talk like this, where they're like, just waiting to be found out that I actually can't do it. And she can, because she's incredible. But it just shows that no matter how much success you have, people still live with these massive insecurities. So I was like, Debbie, you've got to come on and do a podcast with me and talk all about this. So we do. It's called Casting Actors from a Writer's Perspective with Poldark creator Debbie Horsfield. Click into that, Gary, and then boom, you've got the podcast player there. And it's, how long is it? We've got 42 minutes of talking about how Debbie writes, how she got to where she got to. Ultimately, a bit of a tale of someone, again, who just worked bloody hard and went out and got her own opportunities. She didn't kind of just wait. She was a bit of luck involved along the way, but actually went out and just went, I'm going to do it. I'm going to ask the right people. And that's, a lot of Debbie's success has been down to going out and talking to the right people. And you just, you've got to take that action. You can't just expect people to just come and knock on your door. Richard from Miami, the Miami contingent is in the house, or the Florida contingent, wherever you are, mate, is in the house. Thanks for being here, dude. And Steve says, yeah, episode 5 and 6 this week. So yeah, go check that out, Gary. That's a good one there. But ultimately, there's just loads on the site. If we click into the live broadcast replays, these are replays of the live Q&As that I do. I had Daniel Edwards on recently, cast Line of Duty. Hollyoaks casting director Peter Hunt, Humans casting director Victor Jenkins, Dan Hubbard in the house from Hubbard Casting, Dan and his family at Hubbard Casting. They've been, one of the most established families in casting, in film, TV, probably on the planet, to be honest. Cast huge, everything from massive TV to massive feature films. Just little things like Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, etc. Huge stuff. We had Dan in. We've got Mickey Jones there, the director of Corrie Emmerdale, Hollyoaks. Jordan Hogg talking about Casualty. Casting director for Mrs. Brown's Boys, and a lot of great comedy. Nikki Bly. We had Annie Wallace in, actress from Hollyoaks. I put the Lee Boardman one on there as well. That's relatively old one. It's probably a couple of years old, that one. Got that from the old site, put it on the new site though, because it's just great. Lee's like a guy again. He's just worked his ass off. That's called creating success no matter what. Been through massive adversity in his life, Lee. Huge loss in his life, and has turned it into tragedy into triumph. Man, the guy's an absolute inspiration. Top bloke. New stuff will be added to the site every single month. You get access to it all, like I say, for your £10 a month or your £7.50 a month, depending on how often you want to pay. Pay once a month, it's a tenner. Pay once a year, £7.50 a month. It works out £90. So links there to the Facebook group, links there to the mindset coaching, which is basically what you should be on right now. They're the weekly broadcasts that I do on a Monday night. You're on one right now. It's not a lot of mindset stuff tonight specifically, but that's generally what we talk about. We do a lot of personal development on Monday nights. We do a book club. We do a live Q&A where we just talk about the industry in general and business. Ultimately, becoming the best version of yourself. And then other times we do, really specific positive psychology broadcasts. But again, all the details are there, how to join that. You know how to join that because you're on one right now. But if you ever forget, there you go. So that's where we stand on the new site. I just think it's so much clearer. Meg's here, says, good evening, what's happening? Meg, I'm showing people around the brand new Acts on This site. I don't know if you've seen it. It's not over at actsonthis.tv yet. It's at a slightly different address that I'll put up on the screen right now, but it will be over on the existing address next week. For now, it stands here, actsonthis.micahjarby.com. If you've not signed up and got a premium membership, go check it out. Get one. Change your career, ultimately. If you act on the information, if you just watch it, it's a bit like tapping into the law of attraction and just sitting there and saying, I want £1 million and having a sandwich. It's not going to work. You do need to take action on what you, on what you're listening to and what you're watching. But that's what we're talking about. But ultimately, yeah, I just think it feels so good. It's a new chapter for all of us. It's a new chapter for me. I'm really enthused about it again. I'm not going to lie, with the old site, being a little bit clunky and ultimately, it's kind of outgrown itself. There's definitely been times over the last few months where I've been like, it's a little bit uninspiring for me to put more content on there because I'm like, oh, this is such a great feature. How many people are actually going to see it? Because this other feature is now going to bury it, or that one's only been on there 2 weeks and I'm putting this new one on. Will people ever see that one? Now I know people will see it all. They'll listen to it all because it's so easy to actually follow what you've what you've seen and what you haven't seen, or what you've heard and what you haven't heard. Meg says, will do. Been listening to your podcast from 2 years ago. Wow. Hope your head hasn't exploded. Yeah, it has a little bit over the last couple of weeks. I mean, this is a massive process, taking all the old paid memberships over. And it was a gamble, I'll let you in again. I'll be totally vulnerable and transparent here. I had a lot of people on yearly memberships. So there was roughly about 185 people paying £90 a year. And they're recurring memberships. So it's nearly 20 grand, right? And they auto-renew. once a year. So it's almost like, right, that money, it's not guaranteed because people's credit cards expire, etc. So you don't get it all, but those, I've built up those memberships, so people have paid, they've gone into a yearly membership, and then each year that renews. Now for me, transferring over to a brand new platform meant I couldn't take all of those PayPal subscriptions with me. So I've had to cancel all of those. And that's a little bit of a gamble in terms of going, right, well, all of those people who had a premium membership on a yearly basis, maybe they won't sign up again. And I'm like, you know what, maybe they won't. And that's just the gamble I'm prepared to take. Yes, it's a lot of revenue for the site, which is great. The site does a lot of good as well. We do a lot for charity with that revenue, etc. The more people I can have join the site, the more impacts I can make. But it's just like, you know what, for the greater good and for the next 8 years, like, it's better to make the change right now. Because the more memberships I get on the old system, the harder it's going to be down the line to scale the business, scale the website, and ultimately deliver you guys the service I really want to deliver. And I always want to over-deliver and give you way more than you would expect you were going to get. So it's interesting, yeah. I've took a risk. I'm excited about it, though, and I think we can grow the site together and ultimately just create something that the acting industry has never kind of seen before. And I want to talk about growing the site together because I've got an idea, and let me know if you think this is a good idea. Lise, first of all, said, I've just gone through and blue ticks everything I've watched so far. So helpful. I like the blue bar that lets you know where you've watched everything in that category. Yeah, exactly, man. So that'll show you whether you've finished categories or not. I will be putting more stuff on there all the time, though, Lise, so check back weekly, mate. Even if you end up going, I've finished everything. Have you seen people coming through and signing back up? Yeah, absolutely, Meg. About 115 so far. So I think, it's good. It's encouraging for me because I'm like, wow, like hopefully I've done enough for those people in the past. And it looks like I have for them. Go actually, you know what? I trust Ross to deliver, and I'm gonna join him for the next leg of this journey. And Rich says, no worries, Ross. Always be there with you, pal. Great job. Cheers, Rich. Can always rely on you, mate. Thanks for that. So the next thing that we'll talk about is how we grow this site together. And I was thinking, right, actors, and I know when I wasn't working, you don't have loads of money. You should definitely have. You're struggling in life in general. If you don't have what would effectively be about the £1.90 a week it would cost you to get a membership on here, that's maybe a different story. You need to look at other things in your life. If you don't have that, that's a different situation entirely. However, I want to help you guys earn some money and help me grow the site. So I was thinking, right, this is just toying with this. Let me know if you think it's a good idea. Something called Act on This for free. And it's the number 4, okay? And what it would mean is if it's open to only premium members. So once you've got your premium membership, you get access to an affiliate portal, which basically you sign into and you have a special link. There's actonthis.tv / and then just like it'll be a little bit of like 469 or whatever it might be after that. And this isn't to spam the internet with. That's not allowed. I don't want people going out and just throwing this link all over the internet and spamming groups and just being a nuisance, because that's not good publicity for anybody. But you would have your link, and then the idea is you go, right, I've got actor friends who don't know about Acts on This, who could really benefit from the information on there. I am happy to recommend the site to my friends, and if I can get 4 people to sign up to the site, my membership is entirely free. So it's called Act on This for free. And ultimately, it works out that you get 25% of whatever anybody spends. Now, you could do more than 4 people. If you get 8 people to the site and they're paying their membership, you get yours for free, plus you would end up getting 25% of whatever the others spend. So it's a way for you to earn decent money, effectively. It works out for a premium membership that's £90 a year. You get £22.50 for every membership that you bring to the party via your link. So if you went to an acting class and you met a friend, you were like, oh, this site's great, sign up through my link, you would get £22.50 of their membership. So it ultimately means, for £22.50 is £90, thus you pay nothing for your membership. So what do you think? Something you'd be interested in? I'm just like, how can I give more back to the people who are invested in me and giving more to me so that you get more back as well? And we just grow the community bigger and bigger. The more people we have in the community, the bigger the impact. I really want to do live events this year as well that are like in-person panel events. I want to do a series of workshops called Cut the Bullshit, to be honest. Chris Stone's joined just at the time. I was talking to Chris about this, yeah. I want to do totally no bullshit industry business workshops. So they wouldn't be teaching you how to act. There's enough of them about. Don't want to get involved with them. But I want to teach the business. It's what I'm so passionate about. I want to help actors as well create their own online businesses around a passion of theirs that might not have anything to do with acting. Such, start up a podcast on baking, start up a podcast on knitting, whatever you do. Start up a podcast on 10-pin bowling. I have no idea. Create a community, an online business that's going to earn you income on your own terms. I want to start doing events like that. There's so much I want to do, but obviously I need as many people to the party as possible. But the Act on This for free thing I thought was quite a cool idea, because it just means that you guys, ultimately, if you brought 2 people a week to the site, you'd earn another, 200 quid a month, basically, just by bringing two actors to the website. And 200 quid a month for some people is like, a decent amount towards their rent or towards their mortgage. And you are recommending a really good product. It's something that I would be, and am, obviously, because I'm recommending it now. I've built it. Be proud to recommend. It's not like you're going, oh, hi, buy this piece of shit. Your mates are going to thank you. Your actor friends would thank you, I'm guessing, for access to this. Because one thing that I haven't done over the years, I've never marketed Act on This aggressively at all. So I think there's so few people who know about it. But the great thing is now, because I've built such a catalogue of content on there with the biggest names of the industry, it's got instant kudos. So anybody who sees it is like, actually, this is legit, because it is. It's well accessible, it's cheap, it's something that I'm sure people would be happy to recommend because it's legit. And if you can earn an extra 200 quid a month by recommending it to 2 people a week and they end up signing up and getting a membership, then happy days, yeah. Meg says, yes, Ross, I've been looking for a business side of the acting world for a year now. No one really offers. I can really help people with online businesses and stuff and setting stuff up. Chris has a podcast on podcasts. Yeah, we could do a podcast. If you want to do a podcast on podcasts, Chris, I think a lot of people will probably listen to that, to be honest. Meg says you do all these classes, but you're not able to market yourself properly or whatever you're supposed to do. I know exactly what you mean, Meg. This is what people do. They learn how to act, and then they go, holy shit, I'm a terrible business person, and I've no idea how I get work, and I have no idea who does what in the industry. I have no idea who is responsible for casting what. I don't know what agents are good. Anything like that. The workshops that I want to do on the business of the business would be that. Ultimately they would be a real business side, and I would love to do this in person. There might be a side of this where I do an online mastermind group that I've been talking about the last couple of months, where we do that online, because then it means geographically people can join from anywhere, which is quite cool. But yeah, I think there does need to be more business. All right, Bill's in the house. Bill's got his new account on Acts on This, on the new Acts on This site. How are you finding it, Bill? Have you checked it out yet? I think you have, haven't you? I've had so many people log in and stuff and comment and send messages and things that I lose track. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, Bill. We were just giving a little tour tonight, talking about it and the future and what what I want to do with it. Absolutely. So yeah, there's just a load of stuff that I think we can do with the site, and we can all help each other grow it, and everybody benefits, community benefits, but ultimately you can you can monetarily benefit as well. Bill, I was just talking about an affiliate scheme I want to run, mate, called Act on This for free, which is basically where you get an affiliate link via the site. I can sort everyone out with that when I launch it, and then you recommend that to any other actors. And if you can bring 4 people to the table and they get a membership, your membership is free. Thus, Act on This for free. Love it. Thanks. Joining you late. Sorry, don't worry, Bill. It's fine, mate. You're here. It's all that matters. So that was kind of, ultimately the theme of tonight is about change. And like I said at the start, I think this has been a fantastic change for me, for the website, for us as a community. And it took me a long time to get over the 3 fears that come up when you want to change. Fear of change initially, fear of process, and fear of outcome. I'm so glad that I did it and I beat those fears. But if you are facing something in your life, personal life, professional life, whatever, and you've been procrastinating and you've been sitting back on it for a long time, freaking go for it is my advice. Now is a great time of year to do it. Don't leave it until 2019. Let's end 2018 on a a strength that you haven't seen in the first half of 2018. I want to talk about a couple more things before we start wrapping it up. This Thursday, for all you Manchester folk, I'm going to be one of the panel guests at something called Manchester Casting Social. It's on Thursday evening, this Thursday, and it's run by a great little team of people here in Manchester. Mia Vore is part of the Acts on This community as well. She runs it with a guy called David Bresnahan as well. And it's a panel event where there's 4 people in the panel. There's me, there's an agent from Manchester this time, there's an acting coach, there's somebody else as well. I'm not sure if it's been announced yet. But there's 4 of us, and ultimately it's an evening do at a bar in Manchester called Revolution on Oxford Road. Starts at 7:30, I think, and it's like a social gathering plus a panel Q&A where people can just ask questions on any part of the industry. In between the 4 of us there, hopefully we'll be able to answer all those. So that's pretty cool. This Saturday as well is the Acts on This meetup. It's the first Saturday of September, this coming Saturday. So I will be hosting the Manchester meetup at Home Theatre, 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. in Manchester. That's near Deansgate, if you are familiar with Manchester. And then we've got Melanie and Wendy, the legends, with a couple of other guys down in London who are hosting the London event. And that's at Benugo Bar at BFI on South Bank, 11 till 2 again. And Wendy brings homemade cookies. So do go and see Wendy because she's a total ledge. And yeah, you know, it's just in-person networking. Can't beat it. It's inspiring. People get motivated. Again, people meet people, ask questions, ultimately go home feeling great and then start taking action on their career. Bill said, I saw that earlier. Great idea. Everyone should be members. You know my thoughts on that already, says Bill. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate that. Lee says, have you thought about going into universities and drama schools? Funnily enough, absolutely. We were talking about this yesterday. Talking to drama students about the site and offer advice on how to get started once they graduate. That would be a good way for people signing up. It's also the time when actors need the most advice, I think, and the site will be the best way to actors to hit the ground running. 100%, man. Lee, totally after my own heart there, mate. We were talking about that just yesterday. I was talking to the Hop, my business partner Sean, about that yesterday. Definitely going to plan on going at least to my old drama school at the end of September for Freshers Week and doing a little presentation, a chat there. 100%. Because it's info that you don't get. I got no business training at drama school at all, and I had 1 week of TV training, as in acting for camera, in 3 years. And I didn't really want to work in theatre. I love going to the theatre, but I was like, TV and cameras and stuff is where I want to be. And I had a week of TV acting like training in 3 years at drama school, and that was back then when I thought my degree was dear. It was only 15 grand back then. Now that same degree is about 40,000 quid, and if they're still not preparing people for TV, I'll be asking for a bloody partial refund. At least 25 grand back, definitely. So that's good. I've got through most things on my list here. Meetup. Other thing I want to say thank you as well to anyone watching who sent me a testimonial video. What I want to put on the homepage of Acts on This, I'll bring the homepage back up again. I want to put on the homepage somewhere, not exactly sure where, maybe somewhere around this point here underneath the features. I want to put a testimonial video of real people in the community and what they've got from Acts on This, ultimately. Just dead honestly, the positives that they've got from Acts on This. Maybe it was one feature that you listened to, that you acted on, and that led to an opportunity or meeting someone. Maybe you like the in-person meetups we do. You like these broadcasts that we do on a Monday night. Ultimately, just a montage of maybe 10 people saying how Acts on This has benefited them positively in or out of their acting career. Maybe it's just helped you become a better person, like in general. When we just have a chat, don't you? Become part of a community, and it's nice. So if you want to feature in that, I'd love it if you would. I've had about 6 people send me a video through already. It only needs to be 60 seconds long. Pull out your phone, shoot it in portrait mode for me, not portrait, sorry, landscape mode on its side horizontally. It's a lot easier to edit video like that. Pull it out and literally just talk to your... thanks, Gary, you did send yours. Appreciate that, mate. I've got yours. Thanks so much. Pull your phone out and just talk to it for 60 seconds saying, basically how you found the site maybe, the best thing, the one best thing you think about it, and then what you would say to someone who was thinking of signing up, who maybe hadn't heard of Acts on This before or was unsure whether they would benefit from it or not. It would massively help me. Again, it's just, to make the site, maybe we'll realise that it's legit. It's not run by a big company, it's just me. It's me and you guys, basically. There's literally nobody else. That's what's mental about it. It just feels like it's just us against the world. But But yeah, if you could do that for me, that'd be amazing. And just email it to ross@actonthis.tv. And I'll do a little prize draw. I'll get like a 20 quid Amazon gift card or something like that for the people who submit a testimony. I'll just draw one at random and send you a gift card to say thanks to the lucky winner. But would hugely appreciate that. It would mean the world if you would do that. ross@actonthis.tv. Those listening on the audio experience, get your phone out after this. Film it. Doesn't matter where you are. They've got to look legit and genuine, because they are. So even if you're in the park or something, or you're on a train, pull it out, record it, send it me. You might win that gift voucher, but I would love to feature you. So I've blurted on now for over 50 minutes. We've got a few more minutes left to just talk on whatever you want to talk about. Anything that you want to know about the site, anyone unsure about how they get membership, unsure about how they migrate their membership, anyone want me to check anything on their old membership while you've got me live now, I can go into the old site and check stuff out for you. Or maybe you just want to talk about something completely unrelated, and let's just talk about that. I'm happy with that. Meg says, I love that, though, because right now it's a small community. You have a chance to get to know your regulars. You do, Meg. Exactly. I mean, we've got 9,000 of us in the Facebook group, but I still feel that kind of like most people knows most people. I mean, you don't know all 9,000 people, but it's the same faces in it that pop up time and time again. And I feel what's good is we're getting one thing I think we've got in our Facebook group that no other acting group has got is like zero whinging. All I see in other Facebook groups are people taking the piss out of the industry, going, oh, just been asked to do another job for free. Oh, here's what people expect us actors to do. Oh, this is unfair. Oh, that's unfair. None of that in our group. One, because, I mean, I don't see it, but if I did, I'd delete it anyway. But everybody's positive, and everybody's like motivated. And one thing that stands out amongst anything else is everyone wants to help everyone else. And you've done that. So thanks for being a part of that, everybody. It's different. It is different to other groups. And that's amazing. I think the community we have, although small, is mighty. Definitely. Bill says, great job so far, Ross. Still exploring. Keep exploring, Bill. There will be more put on there all the time for you to explore as well on the new site. So yeah, anyone got any other questions they want to talk about tonight? I will put up that where is it? We'll put up the web address again. Like I say, you can't get to the new site yet at actonthis.tv. You've got to go to actonthis.mykajabi.com, which is bizarre, I know, but don't worry about that. No whinging allowed, says Rich. No, honestly, I hate it. I'm just like, and it's not because like I'm all got rose tinted specs on, although they might look fetching on me. It's a practical level. I'm like, guys, at no point ever in the world, in history ever, has whinging really ever done anything. If you don't like the way something is, go and do something positive about it. But whinging, being negative, is never going to serve you positively. All it's going to do is hurt you and hurt those around you. So it's not an airy-fairy thing. It's practical. Just like going on a practical level, what is the point on me focusing on this casting that's gone out that's negative? Zero. Because it's taking time away from me focusing on castings that I could be applying for and getting in jobs I want to do. If a casting goes out on a job and you're like, this is terrible, I would never want to do that, why are you focusing on it, dickhead? You're never going to be able to stop idiots putting out bad castings on bad terms. It's just not, you're never going to be able to stop it entirely, like 100%. Why don't you focus on all the good in the industry and go and get some of that? You'll live a much happier life. Gary says, go with your burgundy t-shirt. What do you mean, Gary? Unrelated, bespoke showreels versus showreels made from stuff you've done otherwise. What do you mean, Steve? As in, like, what's better? I mean, always better to do stuff that you've actually been in if it's been broadcast on TV. 100%. Always start with that stuff if it's good and relevant and new. But high quality bespoke showreels, adding a few scenes from those in is absolutely fine. I've done that on my reel, no problem. Chris Stone, we all know, does fantastic bespoke showreels. I don't know if you're still on here, Chris. I wasn't saying that because he was on here. He just is the best in the business, really. But yeah, if you've got nothing else to play with, you've got no TV, work that's been broadcast, get a bespoke showreel shot, but make sure it doesn't look. I mean, Chris doesn't. Chris's all look good. Some companies, they'll just look. The sound will be shit, and people watching it instantly will go, "This isn't from a short film, or this isn't from something that's been well produced." They'll know it's not from TV because obviously we know what's been broadcast. If you're a casting director, you generally watch a lot of TV. So they won't be like, oh, this is off the telly. But you want them to think, oh, this is off a well-produced short film that might have done well. And Chris will produce stuff like that for you. It's the audio that lets so many of these showreel producers down, and Chris's is spot on because Steph, his wife, does all the audio, and she's great. Ellen says, number one thing that attracted me to Act on This, so sick of people being negative to each other all the time. Yeah, it's bollocks, isn't it, Ellen? It's all about, like, I just say, I've said this many times, I promise you will get everything you want out of your life by helping other people get what they want out of their life. And that's generally about being positive and fueling other people. Because the people who you fuel, if they have success, guess what? They want you to have it as well, and they will give you a peg up. I operate from a place of like one up, all up. If I ever got an opportunity to employ any of you guys, guess what? You lot who are here on a Monday night, who are supporting the community, have premium memberships, are invested in themselves, invested in me and what I want to do, you're gonna be first to be rewarded. Because that's just the right thing to do. Doing the right thing is always the right thing. Whereas, if I was surrounded by loads of negative people who, never helped me out, supported me, never invested in themselves or me or anything I was doing, then you don't want to help those kind of people out, do you? So, I think people sometimes self-sabotage without realising it. Just be a good person. Everything else, will happen because of that. Tony said, I'd love to hear what you do when someone's credit card is declined. Do you chase them down yourself, or do you have emails go out, something different? So, Tony, what happens is there is something in the online credit card processing world called dunning emails, and that's spelled Dunning. And credit card processors are actually getting much smarter now. So previously, if a credit card was declined because it had expired when you're using a shopping cart online, and the date had gone by where it ended, and it couldn't be charged, you had to then either reach out to the person and say, hey, send them an email saying, hey, Tony, we tried to charge your credit card this month, didn't work. Would you log in and update your details? Credit cards are getting smarter and smarter now, and the credit card data processing companies are working with the credit card issuers to automatically start updating expiry dates, etc., from previous cards to what they will be on their new card when the new card is issued. So it's going to be less and less of a problem moving forward, but there are systems out there. So, for instance, the system Act on This is built on right now, the new one, if a credit card does get declined, the system will try it 3 more times before cancelling that subscription. So it will try it over a 2-week period, 3 times to charge the card. Every time it declines, it will send the person an email. It will send me an email as well, so that I can hit you up on social media if I'm like, hey, did you know your membership might get cancelled because your credit card's expired, etc. And then hopefully you'll go in there and you'll update it. But moving forward in a couple of years, I think a lot of stuff will just automatically update, mate. To be honest. And there's certainly no chasing anyone down for money. I mean, it's just like, if your credit card expires and I've sent you 3 emails and it ends up cancelling your membership, then that's totally cool. You come back to it. Next time you log in, you'll see there's no premium membership there. Hopefully you'll either reach out and say, hey, Ross, do I need to sign up again? Or you'll realise you need to sign up again. Job done. But it will become less of an issue down the line. So if you're setting up an online business, Tony, I would recommend you use a company called Stripe to process your credit cards, and they have something called machine learning around credit card stuff, which means you'll have less and less to deal with on that side of things. There you go, a little bit of finance on tonight's broadcast. Let's have a look. What else is going on here? Rose tinted spectacles. You're talking about the burgundy. Okay, you're talking about the burgundy t-shirt. You're right. See, I need to keep up, don't I? I need to keep up. What I like is more and more people seem to be coming over at Facebook and watching on Facebook, so we're all in the community now, rather than actually watching on Periscope, which is good. So it means that I can spend less time checking comments out on here, more time checking comments out on there. So that's about it for tonight, guys. It's been it's not been much of a Q&A on your side, unfortunately. Sorry about that. It's been mostly me just showing the site. But if I can help you with anything, or you're like, right, I need to know something about the site before joining, or you want to find out about your old membership, or where you stand with that. Maybe you had an old email address or something that you can't get access to anymore. Just reach out to me at Ross A. Grant on Twitter, or Ross at Act on This TV, and I will sort you out. Hopefully, over the next couple of weeks, we'll get people migrated over to the new site. The new site will be at actonthis.tv at that address from sometime next week. So we'll sort that out. And yeah, I'm just excited about the change and growing it further and further. Over the next 8 years, it's been 8 years to this point built on the same software. It's now built on something totally cutting edge, brand new, not even cutting edge, what they call bleeding edge, which is quite scary because it's kind of like so new. We're almost testing it as we go, but it's performing beautifully so far. Tony says, good to know. I'm about to start a business with a monthly Not Perfect group membership. And yep, I'm using Stripe. So Stripe's great, Tony. Yep, just use that. Great to know. No problem. Yep, that's all good, man. Exciting new directions, says Ane. Definitely is, without a doubt. And Steve says, we must all wear burgundy on Saturday. Oh, yeah, because at the last meetup, I think I had another burgundy T-shirt on like the one I've got on right now. And that was like the uniform for that event. I can't believe how quickly it's come around again. It doesn't feel like 2 minutes since we were at the last Stats on This meetup in Manchester. If you've not been to one before and you can get to Manchester next Saturday, what date will it be on Saturday? Let me just check. For those listening on the audio experience, for your benefit, next Saturday is going to be, it's the 1st of September. 1st of September, Home Theatre, Manchester, 11 a.m. I'll be there with my porridge and my coffee until 2 p.m. talking about all things acting and just like, anything else, to be honest with you. You know what I'm like. We'll talk about anything. Anything you want to talk about, we will talk about. Come get a coffee, meet everybody. It's great, honestly. Such a great team of people that we have there. It's lovely. 4 months of the year left, says Gary. I know. Mental, innit? Absolutely mental how quickly it's gone. But yeah, last quarter of the year. Let's make it count. All right. Rich says, great stuff, Ross. Bye for now. I will be saying bye for now in a second, Rich. Thanks for being here, mate. Enjoy the rest of your day over in the States. And like I say, everyone else, do anything for you, let me know. Go check out the new site. I'll put this up one last time. Where's my poster? There it is. actonthis.mykajabi. That's spelled M for mother, Y, Kajabi. actonthis.mykajabi.com. Go over there, get your membership. Look forward to welcoming you to the new site and just helping take all of our acting careers to the next level, basically, because we all have a next level. Ultimately, I don't care if you're Brad Pitt, you've got a next level, and that's what we're hopefully going to do for everybody, which is awesome. How long does it take to get an acting up? What do you mean, Jenna? What do you mean? How long does it take to get acting up? I think your phone or whatever you're on has done a mistype there. Let me know what you mean before we go. I will answer that before we call it a day. Oh, sorry, I meant job. Get an acting job. All depends, Jen. I mean, you're starting off right at the start of your career right now. So I think when we've spoken before, you definitely need to hunt out that acting class that you want to go to. Try and find like a weekly or a bi-weekly screen acting class. I think that'd be really good. There's a lot of those around the country now, some really, really good ones. If you don't know of any or you need help finding one, ask in the Acts on This Facebook group. And then from there, I mean, how long is a piece of string? It's difficult. Sometimes I know people have been very lucky who have been to a couple of acting classes. A casting director has come and sat in on an acting class, and literally 2 months into their career, they've ended up with a job. Sometimes not a massive job, but their first telly job, a couple of lines on TV. Other people, that same process has been 3 years at drama school and 3 years out of drama school. So it's been 6 years before I got my first acting job. So it's difficult. One way to get on set and learn more about the industry would be to do some background work, first of all, if you've never done any of that. That's something that's relatively easy to get into as well, so at least you know what it's like to be on a TV set, and you'll meet people through that as well. That's something to definitely explore. I would have a look at doing some short films that maybe students, local universities, places like that, are doing to get experience. There's lots and lots of options, so it's a difficult one, really. It just depends on how proactive you are, how many people you want to go out and meet, how hard you want to work, how many classes you want to take, and how much you want to invest in yourself, really. But we'll definitely, help you out with advice however we can. And Tony says, Jenna, I would also listen to the Periscope replays of Ross reading Crushing It by Gary Vee. It reminds us to be patient because this stuff takes a long time. Yeah, 100%. And Gary Vee is Gary Vaynerchuk is a great guy. He gave me some great advice in London. I told you about it on a Periscope once. He basically ripped me apart, really, in a lovely way, because he's very, very straight talking. And he's like, well, you want to do that? Right. Well, why do you do that then? And yeah, he's a great guy, but he wrote a book, Crushing It. It's here. It's here, Jenna. It's a book really about how you promote yourself on social media. But it's fantastic. It's just a book everybody should read if you want to have any, success in anything, basically. But particularly if you want to create an online brand, an online business, and crush it in whatever industry you want to work on. Did you get his trainers? I did. I bought a pair of Gary V Clouds and Dirts pair of trainers. They're brand new in the box, Gary. I've not worn them yet. I might take them out of the box if we get some dry weather again in the UK. I'm finally reading it myself right now. Love it, says Tony. Get the audiobook as well, Tony, because Gary on the audiobook reads the book, but he goes off on tangents. He adds his own stuff in that's not in the book. So it's like a totally different book on audiobook, which is great. And Bill says, Jenna, also some good books out there worth reading, but classes are brilliant. Yeah, definitely. Honestly, you can't really beat the experience you would get from a class, Jenna. Get that acting class done. Go and sit, even if you don't want to do the class straight away, just say, listen, can I sit in and audit a class? Can I come and watch how you work, etc. There's a lot of acting classes will just let you come in and sit there and watch the first time, so you can see if it's for you or not. But it's definitely a great thing to do weekly if you can, because it just means you're always. For me, it changed the game going to a weekly acting class because it meant auditions felt dead normal. Auditions stopped feeling really foreign. It just felt like an acting class. And I remember when it clicked for me. I'd been at an acting class. This is weird because after 3 years of drama school, it didn't do enough for me in the terms of TV. I went to an acting class for TV for about 4 months, and I remember I went to an audition. I got an agent through that acting class. The agent who I'm still with today, awesome woman, Jane Hollywood, and I went to an audition that Jane got me for Emmerdale. And normally, when you hear that beep on the camera, so you'll do a little rehearsal. And it'll all be fine. And they'll go, right, we'll go for a take. And you go, okay. And it goes silent for about 3 seconds. And you hear, boop. And the camera's on. And you go, shit. In your head, everything goes to shit. You're like, oh, my God, I'm being filmed. This is it. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I'd had that so many times in an acting class over that 4 months. I'd had like 16 weeks of beep, acting in an audition environment, that when I heard it in that Emmerdale audition, it was like totally normal. Smashed it, got offered the job straight away. Went to an audition 2 weeks later for something Jimmy McGovern had written. Bang, smashed it. And my hit rate at auditions has been like that ever since. I don't get, obviously, like everybody, I don't get as many auditions as I would like. We don't, we'd like one every day, wouldn't we? But generally, when I get one, I know I'm going to book the job. I went for an audition for a Sky comedy a couple of weeks ago. Knew I was going to do something there because I'm like, I'm just so used to this. Didn't get the role that I went for, but they offered me a different role. So I'm filming that in October with some great people as well. It's awesome. It's just like an acting class can prepare you in a way that reading about it or stuff just can't. It's a bit like the analogy of going, look, I can read about doing sit-ups, but I'm not going to get a six-pack till I start doing sit-ups. That's quite a powerful analogy. You can read about acting as much as you want, but you're not going to get anywhere until you actually start acting. So yeah, she said, I'm happy to do anything. I will put 100% into it. Do it, Jenna. Good for you. Actors Centre, you can observe classes as well, says Gary. Amazing. And Tony is listening to the audiobook of Gary V. Awesome. Guys, you're brilliant. Thank you so much for being here. Go check out the site. Thank you for those who've already signed up and are with me on this next part of the journey. Lee, if you're still here, I'm going to cancel your old payments now to the old site. You've got your new ones now. They'll start in 14 days' time. All good in the hood. I'm just going to... I've got to close you down on Facebook now, unfortunately, guys. I'll just go over here. Still not found a better way to do this. There is no better way to end broadcast without actually closing the broadcast window first of all. What do you think of the new, those in the Facebook group, what do you think of the new banner at the top? Quite like it. What do you reckon? It's supposed to be a group of people waiting to go into an audition, but they're all on their devices on Acts on This. So you'll see some people are on iPads, some people are on their iPhones, etc. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Change that up. Just like to change it up a little bit. Change is good. Honestly, that's what I've learned from this. Change is freaking brilliant. Change is exactly what we should be after in our life after a while. You can't stay. You're either growing or you're dying. That's the thing. Like anything in life, if a plant isn't growing, by default, it is dying. It's the same for a human being. If your acting career is not growing, it is dying. Like, just is. And my business, Act on This, if it wasn't growing, it was dying. It was just time to change it. And now I feel like it's just been replanted in a new pot. It had grown so big, it needed taking out, putting in a new pot so its roots can breathe again and we can grow the community even more. So it's a bit of an analogy for your life. Maybe it's time to repot yourself, all right? Until next time, thank you so much for being here. Apologies if I've completely ignored anybody on Twitter, because just realised I've not had that on for at least 5 minutes. I think I was one of the only ones watching on Twitter. Don't worry about that. And like I say, if I can do anything for you, hit me up. I'll be back next Wednesday with another live broadcast. Don't know what it's going to be on. I think it's the book club next week, so we'll be looking at Jen Sincero's book. You Are a Badass at Making Money. Another session on that, where we'll be looking at ultimately getting our mindsets around money right, so that you can allow money, more of it into your life and quit, fighting against it. There's an abundance of the shit out there. You can have it before you get your big break as an actor. There's lots and lots of ways to get that. And Tony, it's great to hear you're actually setting up a business now, mate. Based around something that you've got a real passion for. That's fantastic. Let's know if we can help you with that. Till next time, guys. Thank you for being here. I will love you and leave you. Bye for now.